There's to be a royal announcement.
There is.
Why wasn't I informed?
There is to be a royal announcement. In the throne room. At this very moment. Where are you going?
To stand by my son.
Your place is in the gallery. With the other ladies of the court.
Hey guys, Kevan here. And on today's Rewind, I want to talk about Sir Kevan Lannister. Sir Kevan is the brother of Lord Tywin Lannister, and uncle to his children, the twins Cersei and Jaime, and Tyrion Lannister. Sir Kevan himself has 4 children. His 3 sons include Lancel Lannister, squire to King Robert Baratheon, and his own set of twins, Willem and Martin. In the show, Willem and Martin are the children of Tywin and Kevan's cousin, according to Robb Stark. But in both the book and the show, Willem Lannister is killed by Lord Karstark, a crime for which he is later beheaded. Sir Kevan is introduced in Season 1, and is in charge of keeping the other commanders in the Lannister army informed.
Tyrion. Uncle? Father?
The rumors of your demise were unfounded.
Sorry to disappoint you.
And who are these companions of yours?
This is Shagga, son of Dolph, chieftain of the Stonecrows. Timett, son of Timett, ruler of the Burned Men. This fair maid is Chella, daughter of Check, leader of the Black Ears. And here we have Bronn, son of...
You wouldn't know him.
May I present my lord father, Tywin, son of Tytos of House Lannister, Lord of Casterly Rock, Warden of the West. Kind of you to go to war for me.
You left us no choice. The honor of the house was at stake. Your brother would never have submitted to capture so meekly.
We have our differences, Jaime and I. He's braver. I'm better looking.
He's been covering himself in glory.
Jaime smashed the river lords of the Golden Tooth, and now lays siege to River Run, Catelyn Stark's homeland.
And the Starks, Lord Eddard?
Is our hostage. He will lead no armies from his dungeon cell.
How did my sweet sister persuade the king to imprison his dear friend Ned?
Robert Baratheon is dead. Joffrey rules in King's Landing.
My sister rules, you mean?
Stark's son has called his banners. He moves south with a strong host.
Green boy. One taste of battle and he'll run back to Winterfell with his tail between his legs.
Maybe. Though the boy does have a certain belligerence. You'd like him. While we're on the subject of war, I made promises to my friends here. The Lannister always pays his debts. We shall require 3,000 helms and shields, plus swords, pikes, gorgets, maces.
If it please my lord, Sir Adam bids me report that the Northmen have crossed the neck.
The wolf rushes into the lion's jaws. So be it. Kevan, command the Drovers' Beat Assembly. And send word to Jaime that I'm moving against Robb Stark.
At once, my lord.
Our scouts tell us the Stark host has moved south from the Twins, with Lord Frey's levies in tow. They're a day's march north.
The boy may lack experience and sense, but he does have a certain mindless, provincial courage.
Do continue. Didn't mean to interrupt.
I do hope your savages are going to be of some use, otherwise we wasted good steel on them.
The great hairy one insisted he must have 2 battle axes. Heavy black steel, double-sided.
Shagga likes axes.
When the battle commences, you and your wildlings will be in the vanguard.
The vanguard? Mm-hmm. Me and the tribesmen, on the front lines.
They do seem rather ferocious.
ferocious. Last night, Moon Brother stabbed a stone crow over a sausage. 3 stone crows seized the Moon Brother and opened his throat. Bronn managed to keep Shagga from chopping off the dead man's cock, which was fortunate, but even still, Ulf is demanding blood money, which Shagga and Gunther refuse to pay.
When soldiers lack discipline, the fault lies with their commander.
Surely there are ways to have me killed that would be less detrimental to the war effort.
There will be no more discussion on the matter.
It appears I'm not hungry after all. Excuse me, my lords.
They have my son.
The Stark boy appears to be less green than we'd hoped.
I've heard his wolf killed a dozen men and as many horses.
Is it true about Stannis and Renly?
Both Baratheon brothers have taken up against us. Jaime captured, his army scattered. It's a catastrophe. Perhaps we should sue for peace.
There's your piece. Joffrey saw to that when he decided to remove Ned Stark's head. You'll have an easier time drinking from that cup than you will bringing Robb Stark to the table now. He's winning, in case you hadn't noticed.
I'm told we still have his sisters.
The first order of business is ransoming Sir Jaime.
No truces. We can't afford to look weak. We should march on them at once.
First, we must return to Casterly Rock to raise
They
more.
have my son! Get out, all of you.
King's Landing will fall an hour after Stannis lands his force. It's not too late for King Joffrey and Cersei and the court to ride west to safety.
Surrender the Iron Throne.
Better than seeing their heads mounted on the city gates. Stannis will execute them all.
No, a king who runs will not be king for long. He's a Lannister. He'll stand and fight. Stannis, 2 days from the capital, and the wolf at my doorstep.
Scouts assure us Robb Stark remains north of Ashmark.
The last time the scouts assured us of Stark's movement, he lured us into a trap. Which is why my son is his prisoner. Too close to Casterly Rock.
He sent a splinter force to recapture Winterfell. The Greyjoys have done us a great favor. Stark won't risk marching on Casterly Rock until he's at full force.
He's a boy and he's never lost a battle. He'll risk anything at any time because he doesn't know enough to be afraid. We'll ride at nightfall. I want a full night's march before he knows we're on the move.
After the death of his brother, Sir Kevan returns to King's Landing and serves on a small council.
Your Grace.
Cousin Lancel, I hardly recognized you.
My deepest sympathies.
I apologize for my son's appearance.
Uncle, that's quite all right.
They call themselves sparrows. Bloody fanatics. Religion has its place, of course, but at a certain point. They never would have come to the capital when Tywin was alive.
Sure, he'll grow out of it, whatever it is. Excuse me.
Of course. You're the hand of the king?
No, Uncle. Clearly it would not be appropriate for a woman to assume that role. I'm merely advising my son until he comes of age and chooses a hand for himself.
Your Grace, I would be willing to serve provisionally as the King's hand until he becomes
You're a
old
good
enough to
man, Lord
make...
Tyrell, but I don't imagine you'll have the time. In addition to being Master of Ships, the King has appointed you Master of Coin.
Oh, Your Grace.
He called your experience and wisdom in financial matters unparalleled. He said he would be honored to have you represent the Crown's interests in the same.
The honour is all mine, Your Grace. Your Grace, in the past, on several occasions, a Grand Maester has served as the King's hand.
The King was named Kevan, the new Master of Whisperers.
Your Grace, him? This man? This embarrassment to the Citadel? Your Grace, what qualifications can he possibly have for this post?
The qualification of loyalty, Grand Maester. That's far more than the eunuch ever had. Far more than many ever have.
I must say, I cannot
Uncle
see
Kevan,
how...
in light of your position as commander of the Lannister armies, it would please the king if you would serve as his master of war. No man living better deserves the title.
That is kind of you to say. I would like to hear it from the king himself.
The king is very busy at this moment.
He should be here, learning what it means to rule.
He is learning. On this occasion, in his capacity as ruler, he's asked me to speak on his behalf.
I returned to the capital to pay my respects to my brother, and to you, and to serve the king. I did not return to the capital to serve as your puppet, to watch you stack the small council with sycophants. Sending your own brother away so he won't be present.
My brother has left the capital to lead a sensitive diplomatic mission.
What mission?
That is not your concern as Master of War.
I do not recognize your authority to dictate what is and is not my concern. You are the Queen Mother. Nothing more.
You would abandon your king in his time of need?
If he wants to send for me, I will be waiting for him. At Casterly Rock.
After Cersei is arrested by the Faith, Sir Kevan returns to King's Landing to serve his hand.
Your Grace, Grand Maester Pycelle has summoned your uncle Kevan back from Casterly Rock to serve as hand of the king. He now presides over the small council.
Tell him I need to speak to him.
I implored him to visit you, but he would not.
Sir Kevan is present when Cersei returns to the Red Keep after her walk of shame.
As bad as Lord Varys was, Kevan is worse. I told them all. I told them. He's arrogant, dangerous. You don't get thrown out of the Citadel without good reason. And no one listened to my advice. So, here we are. And what he's done to Gregor Clegane is an abomination. We never sanctioned this experiment. And I, for one, think it will be in our best interest to have the beast destroyed.
Can I help you?
Why are you here?
My mother.
I was invited, my dear, to help deal with several troublesome issues, such as the Queen's imprisonment.
Thank you for bringing it up. It's well past time we address the abuses I endured.
Marjorie is the Queen. You are not the Queen, because you're not married to the King. I do appreciate these things can get a bit confusing in your family.
This is a small council meeting. You have no position on the small council.
I'm the Lord Commander of the King's Guard. The Lord Commander of the King's Guard does have a position on the small council.
Grand Maester Pycelle, would you sanction that statement?
Well, I would say Sir Gerald Hightower had a seat on the Mad King's Council. Of course, that was the Mad King. King Robert saw things differently.
What about Marcella's death, Uncle? Do you consider the murder of your own blood a troublesome issue?
The same women who murdered Marcella have overthrown House Martell and taken control of Dawn. We've got a lot to discuss. All of us, together.
And seeing as you cannot make us leave, we best get on with it.
No, we cannot make you leave. And you cannot make us stay. Not unless you're going to have that thing murder us all.
The small council meeting has been postponed on the King's orders.
I would have thought we were perfectly clear the first time. You're not welcome.
You once spoke of your respect for our father because he understood the necessity of working with one's rivals.
My dear, You have been stripped of your dignity and authority, publicly shamed, and confined to the Red Keep. What's left to work with?
Cersei is the mother of the king. She has the king's ear and his trust. And the king has been speaking regularly with the High Sparrow about Queen Marjorie and Sir Loras.
The High Sparrow seized power knowing full well we bicker amongst ourselves instead of seizing it back. Here we are. Well done to us. Now the future of the Seven Kingdoms rests in his dirty peasant hands. In a few days he'll have a trial for me. But before that, Queen Marjorie will make her walk of atonement. Yes, Marjorie will repent her sins before the good people of the city.
Oh, no. That cannot happen. That will not happen.
I agree.
You've got the second largest army in Westeros. You'll bring them into the city, stop Queen Marjorie's humiliation before it starts, and take her back into Crown custody.
The king has ordered me to take no action against the High Sparrow or the Faith Militant out of fear for the Queen's safety.
You will take no action at all. When the Tyrell armies come, you will stand down. Were you expressly forbidden from standing down?
No. But if the king should call on me...
The whole thing will be over before anyone can call on you to do anything. When the High Sparrow's in custody, or dead, preferably, and Marjorie's back at Tommen's side, do you think the king will be angry at the outcome?
You hate these fanatics as much as we do. You hate what they've done to your son. Do you want Lancel back? Or have you given him up for good?
Of course I want him back.
And stand aside, and let the people that took him from you be destroyed.
If it doesn't go as planned, the Sparrows have many friends in this city. We'll have civil war, many will die.
Many will die no matter what we do. Better them than us.
After the plan to save Queen Marjorie goes awry, Sir Kevan stands by King Tommen as he strips Sir Jaime Lannister of his position in the Kingsguard and sends him off to take back Riverrun from Sir Brynden Tully.
When you attack the faith, you attack the crown. Anyone who attacks the crown is unfit to serve as Lord Commander of the Kingsguard.
I've been a member of the Kingsguard since before you were born. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do anything.
I have to answer to the gods.
Not when you're sitting in that chair.
The Crown's decision on this matter is final.
Will I be walking naked in the streets? Or will I spend a few months in the Sept dungeons first to teach me about the gods' mercy?
You have served your house and your king faithfully for many years, and you will continue to do so. But not in this city.
Sir Kevan is also present when King Tommen forbids trial by combat and sentences his mother to a fair trial, a decision that proves fatal to Sir Kevan and many others.
Lords and ladies, the faith and the crown are the two pillars that hold up this world. One collapses, so does the other. The Father judges us all. If you break his laws, you will be punished. After conferring with His Holiness, the High Septon, we have determined that Loras Tyrell and Cersei Lannister's trial will be held in the Great Sept of Baelor on the first day of the Festival of the Mother. Furthermore, after much prayer and reflection, the Crown has decided that from this day forward, trial by combat will be forbidden throughout the Seven Kingdoms. The tradition is a brutish one, a scheme devised by corrupt rulers in order to avoid true judgment from the gods. Cersei Lannister and Loras Tyrell will stand trial before 7 Septons as it was in the earliest days of the faith. 7 blessings to all.
There will be no need for a trial. I confess before the 7 and freely admit to my crimes.
To which crimes will you be confessing?
All of them. I lay with other men, including the traitor, Renly Baratheon. I perjured myself before the gods. I am guilty of depravity, dishonesty, profligacy, and arrogance.
Faith is the way, Father. You mutilated him. You gave me your word.
And I've kept my word. Once the Queen Mother's trial is concluded, Brother Loras is free to leave.
And where is the Queen Mother? The trial culminate. We all need to leave.
Get out of my way!
Thank you.